UFC Fight Night, June 14th. Kamaru Usman returns to the cage against the explosive Joaquin Buckley, and the numbers are heating up. The universal day is 2, the number of balance, intuition, and emotional energy, and guess what? 5 fighters on the main card have either a driver or life path number 2, including some major names. Number 2 favors the calm, the strategic, and those who can adapt under fire. Buckley's raw aggression meets Usman's calculated control, but only one can align with the energy of the night. Who's in sync with the flow? Who's forcing the fight? This isn't just a clash of styles, it's a battle of energies. And on a 2-day, those who stay composed, connected, and patient, they rise. Numerology meets violence. Usman, Buckley, June 14th. Let the numbers speak. UFC Fight Night, Usman vs. Buckley. Main event of the evening. Kamaru Usman vs. Joaquin Buckley. The welterweight division is heating up as a former champion returns with something to prove. Kamaru Usman, one of the most dominant welterweights in UFC history, takes on the explosive and resurgent Joaquin Buckley. With Usman's legacy on the line and Buckley rising fast, this bout pits calculated dominance against raw, knockout power. First up, the former champion, Kamaru Usman, 20-4. Born on May 11th, 38-year-old, and fighting out of Boca Raton, Florida, Kamaru, the Nigerian nightmare, Usman stands 6 feet 0 inches with a 76-inch reach, a suffocating wrestler with elite cardio, relentless pressure, and championship experience. Strengths: world-class wrestling and control, exceptional fight IQ and adaptability, composed under pressure with strong endurance. And weaknesses: accumulated damage over recent fights. Age and speed decline may impact explosiveness. Numerology edge: Usman's driver number 2 and life path number 5 bring a unique blend of diplomacy, intuition, and adaptability. Life path 5 favors movement, versatility, and thriving under change, a quality reflected in his ability to adjust mid-fight. On June 14th, Universal Day 2 supportive with his driver 2 and life path also in alignment with Day's driver. Path to victory: Usman needs to close the distance early, neutralize Buckley's power with grappling, and use his experience to control the tempo. If he makes it a grind, his cardio and positional dominance can wear Buckley down. And now the surging powerhouse, Joaquin Buckley, 21-6. Born on April 27th, 31-year-old and fighting out of St. Louis, Missouri, Joaquin Buckley stands 5 feet 10 inches with a 76-inch reach, a ferocious striker with explosive movement, knockout power, and an evolving wrestling base. Strengths: dynamic and unpredictable striking, one-shot KO potential from either hand, fast twitch athleticism, and improving skill set. And weaknesses: vulnerable to takedowns and control, can be overly emotional and wild under pressure. Numerology edge: Buckley's 9-9 combo, driver and life path, amplifies intensity, charisma, and emotional fire. Life path 9 is the finisher's path, bold, dramatic, and mission-driven. A rare combination, but Universal Day 2 is not so supportive to his life path 9. Path to victory: Buckley must keep the fight standing, stuff takedowns, and create chaos. If he lands early and keeps space, his explosiveness could catch Usman during a transitional moment. He must capitalize on Usman's recent wear and tear. Final prediction: numerology meets technique. There are many factors which can decide the fate. There is significant age gap between these two, as Joaquin Buckley eyes 7 years younger. Joaquin Buckley is active, consistent, and have momentum behind him that Usman lacks. Usman have championship-level experience, which is also a big factor. June 14th, 2025 carries a Universal Day 2, favoring intuition, reaction, and controlled pacing, an energy more attuned to Usman's driver 2 and stable numerological profile. Buckley's 9-9 energy makes him dangerous, but emotionally volatile under structured pressure. Usman's technical mastery, versatile life path 5, and calm 2 energy align with the date, giving him both a stylistic and energetic edge. I'm picking Kamaru Usman in this one, through calculated grappling and composure, outlasting the storm and taking control round by round. And now, let's move TP the co-main event of the evening. Rose Namajunas vs. Miranda Maverick. The women's flyweight division takes center stage as 2 dynamic forces collide. Former strawweight queen Rose Namajunas returns to make statement, facing rising contender Miranda Maverick, a powerful grappler on a mission to climb the ranks. It's elegance versus grit, experience versus hunger, and a battle that could reshape the title picture. First up, the former champion, Rose Namajunas, 14-7. Born on June 29th, 32-year-old, and fighting out of Denver, Colorado, Rose Thug Namajunas stands 5 feet 5 inches with a 65-inch reach, a poetic and precise striker known for her flowing movement, lightning-sharp timing, and ability to rise in the biggest moments. Strengths: creative striking and footwork, dangerous submission arsenal, composure in high-pressure situations. And weaknesses: inconsistent pacing and momentum, can be overwhelmed by relentless pressure. Numerology edge. Rose's double master number 11, conductor and life path, reflects heightened intuition, sensitivity, and spiritual awareness, traits that fuel her artistic fight style. Her driver number 2 connects her to emotion and timing, ideal for fluid, reactive fighting. On June 14th, Universal Day is supportive and in alignment with her life path too. Path to victory. Namajunas must stay elusive, work behind her jab, and create angles that frustrate Maverick's forward pressure. If she can dictate the range and maintain composure, her timing and technique can carry her through. And now the surging contender, Miranda Maverick, 17-5. Born on July 1st, 27-year-old, and fighting out of Norfolk, Virginia, Miranda Maverick stands 5 feet 3 inches with a 65-inch reach, a physically imposing grinder who uses relentless wrestling, strength, and willpower to break her opponents down. Strengths: strong wrestling and positional control, excellent cardio and physicality, mental toughness and steady progression. And weaknesses: striking defense, still developing, can be overly aggressive in transitions. Numerology edge. Miranda's 1-7 profile blends raw drive with analytical precision. Her number 1 reinforces discipline, ambition, and strength under pressure. Her life path also in alignment with Universal Day 2, but not so supportive. Path to victory. Maverick needs to close distance early, initiate takedowns, and make it a physical war. If she keeps Rose on the mat or against the cage, her steady pressure and technical wrestling can drown the former champ. Final prediction: numerology meets technique. Rose Namajunas enters this fight aligned with the Universal Day 2 on June 14, 2025, a vibration of intuition and sensitivity that matches her master number 11 energy. But Maverick brings grounding force and calculated drive. Her strong 1-7, stable grid, and technical approach give her the energetic edge. Against a fighter like Rose, whose flow thrives in chaos, Miranda's discipline and structure may be the perfect counter. The matchup is very close both numerologically and technically, but slightly favors Rose as her life path too is more supportive on Universal Day 2. So I'm picking Rose Namajunas in this one as she has championship level experience. Edmen Shahbazyan versus Andre Petroski. A middleweight matchup packed with pressure and redemption. Edmen Shahbazyan, once hailed as a future title contender, looks to reignite his momentum against Andre Petroski, a grinding wrestler with grit, power, and a relentless motor. With both men seeking to climb the ladder, expect fireworks in this high-stakes bout. First up, the striking prodigy, Edmen Shahbazyan, 14-5. Born on November 20, 1997, and fighting out of Glendale, California, Edmen the Golden Boy Shahbazyan stands 6 feet 2 inches with a 74-inch reach, a sharp, technical striker with a background in kickboxing and quick finishing ability. Strengths: clean striking and fight-ending power, fluid movement and combinations, early round explosiveness and killer instinct. And weaknesses: questionable cardio past round 1, struggles under grappling heavy pressure. Numerology edge. Shahbazyan's driver number 2 and life path number 3 form a duo of emotional intuition and creative expression. The 2 brings feel and timing, while the 3 adds fluidity, charisma, and adaptability. Good alignment with Universal Day 2, but personal year not supportive. Path to victory. Edmen must keep the fight at range, land crisp strikes early, and avoid grappling exchanges. If he stays loose and flows with confidence, his speed and timing could steal the show. Now the grinding grappler, Andre Petroski, 13-4. Born on June 12, 34-year-old, and fighting out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Andre Petroski stands 6 feet 0 inches with a 73-inch reach, a powerful wrestler with gritty control, strong ground and pound, and a never-back-down mindset. Strengths: solid wrestling and top control, durable with high-pressure style, effective ground offense and submission game. And weaknesses: striking remains basic and predictable, vulnerable when forced to fight off his back. Numerology edge. Petroski's driver number 3 and life path number 11 of 2 combine creativity with high spiritual intensity. Life path 11 gives him emotional charge and magnetic willpower, but it's a path that demands discipline to master. Universal Day 2 is in alignment with his life path 2. Path to victory. Petroski must close the distance early, turn this into a clinch and grind battle, and wear Edmen down with pressure. If he can drag it past round 1, his grit and wrestling can shift momentum in his favor. Final prediction: numerology meets technique. June 14, 2025 is a Universal Day 2, which promotes balance, patience, and calm adaptability. A solid match for 3-2 Andre Petroski, favoring feel and timing over brute force. High-octane 2-3 energy may become too chaotic for Edmen Shahbazyan if things don't go his way early. In a battle of rhythm versus pressure, the numbers and the style matchup lean toward the fighter who flows instead of forcing. I'm picking Andre Petroski by smooth striking, smart pacing, and a rebound performance under the right energetic spotlight. Cody Garbrandt versus Raoni Barcelos. A high-stakes bantamweight showdown between speed and skill. Former champion Cody Garbrandt, known for his explosive counterpunching, takes on Brazilian veteran Raoni Barcelos, a seasoned all-rounder with heavy hands and slick jiu-jitsu. With both men at a crossroads, this is a fight for legacy and momentum. First up, the former champ, Cody Garbrandt, 14-6. Born on July 7th, 34-year-old, and fighting out of Ericksville, Ohio, Cody No Love Garbrandt stands 5 feet 8 inches with a 65-inch reach, a lightning-fast counterstriker with knockout power, footwork, and championship experience. Strengths: blistering hand speed and power, sharp counters and footwork, experienced in high-pressure fights. And weaknesses: questionable chin, sometimes fights too emotionally. Numerology edge: Cody holds a driver number 7 and life path number 7, a deep thinker with a cerebral and analytical nature. Double 7 energy brings insight and intuition, but also emotional volatility and a tendency to overthink in the heat of the moment. Universal Day 2 is supportive for him on fight day. Path to victory: Cody must stay composed, avoid brawls, and let his timing shine. If he sticks to a clean countering game and uses angles, his speed and precision can break through Barcelos' defenses. Now the Brazilian technician, Raoni Barcelos, 19-5. Born on May 1st, 38-year-old and fighting out of Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, Raoni Barcelos stands 5 feet 7 inches with a 67-inch reach, a well-rounded finisher with solid boxing, BJJ black belt skills, and a gritty, aggressive style. Strengths: versatile striking and dangerous grappling, strong fight IQ and veteran savvy, durable and presses forward. And weaknesses: slows down in later rounds, can be hit in open exchanges. Numerology edge: Raoni carries a driver number 1 and life path number 4, a powerful combo of initiative and structure. The 1 brings leadership and aggression, the 4 brings discipline and grounded execution. Universal Day 2 not so supportive for him. Path to victory: Barcelos should apply pressure early, mix in level changes, and turn this into a dirty fight. If he can frustrate Cody, close the range, and keep him reacting instead of reading, he can grind out a decision or force a late finish. Final prediction: numerology meets technique. June 14th, 2025 is a Universal Day 2, favoring patience, composure, and tactical balance, tailor-made for Garbrandt's double 7 numerology when he's mentally locked in. Barcelos' 1-4 combo is strong, but its straightforward aggression may backfire if Cody maintains clarity and flow. If Garbrandt fights smart and doesn't get drawn into chaos, both the numbers and technique lean his way. I'm picking Cody Garbrandt in this one by sharp counters and veteran instincts carry the night. Also, Cody is 5 years younger. Mansour Abdulmalik versus Cody Brundage. A middleweight clash between rising force and rugged veteran. Undefeated Russian prospect Mansour Abdulmalik looks to extend his perfect record against UFC stalwart Cody Brundage, a gritty, well-rounded fighter with knockout power and dogged persistence. It's a classic striker versus grappler matchup with numerology lighting the path. First up, the undefeated rising prospect, Mansour Abdulmalik, 8-0. Born on October 7th, 27-year-old, and fighting out of Grozny, Russia, Mansour Abdulmalik stands 6 feet 2 inches with a 75-inch reach, a sharp, disciplined striker with crisp technique, composed pacing, and growing takedown defense. Strengths: excellent shot selection and accuracy, calm under pressure with great cage awareness, technical striking and defensive fundamentals. And weaknesses: still relatively untested at UFC level. Ground game under pressure remains a question. Numerology edge: Mansour carries a driver number 7 and life path number 7, a rare spiritual double 7 combination. This indicates deep thinking, razor focus, and surgical precision. The 7 brings an analytical mind, strong instincts, and calm presence, perfect for methodical striking. Universal Day 2 also supports him. Path to victory: Mansour should stay at range, keep the fight clean and technical, and avoid Brundage's chaotic blitzes. If he dictates the tempo and picks his shots, his composed style and numerology edge favor a decision or late finish. Now the battle-tested veteran, Cody Brundage, 11-6. Born on May 16th, 31-year-old, and fighting out of Englewood, Colorado, Cody Brundage stands 6 feet 1 inch with a 72-inch reach, a powerful grappler with strong double-leg takedowns, heavy ground and pound, and knockout threat in wild exchanges. Strengths: strong wrestling and explosive power, high finishing instinct, fights with grit and urgency. And weaknesses: susceptible to counterstrikes and submissions, struggles when forced to fight off the back foot. Numerology edge: Brundage's driver number 7 and life path number 8 form a contrast between mental sharpness and emotional depth. Life path 8 gives him heart, endurance, and passion, but can also be inconsistent when emotions take over. Universal Day 2 also supports him. Path to victory: Cody must create chaos, blitz early, press against the cage, and drag Mansour into unfamiliar territory. If he can land heavy shots and break rhythm, he has the power and pressure to shock the rising prospect. Final prediction: numerology meets technique. June 14th, 2025 is a universal day too, a day that favors balance, intuition, and calm responses, an energetic stage built for Mansour Abdul-Malik's 7-7 numerology. This day rewards patience and strategic thinking over brawling and volatility, which may work against Brundage's 8 energy. Unless Cody catches Mansour early, the numerology and technical matchup both lean toward the undefeated prospect's control and timing. I'm picking Mansour Abdul-Malik in this one by composed striking, distance management, and staying one step ahead. Paul Craig versus Rodolfo Bellato. In a battle of submission specialists, veteran Paul Craig takes on rising Brazilian Rodolfo Bellato in the light heavyweight division. Expect grappling chess, scrappy striking, and a race to see who can capitalize on a mistake first. This one could be wild on the mat, or end in a sudden twist. First up, the Scottish submission artist, Paul Craig, 17 to -9. Born on November 27th, 37-year-old, and fighting out of Airdrie, Scotland, Paul Beardew Craig stands 6 feet 3 inches with a 76-inch reach, a creative submission ace known for his wild guard game, fight-ending triangles, and fearless attitude off his back. Strengths: elite submission skills from guard, unorthodox and unpredictable style, willingness to fight through adversity, and weaknesses: questionable striking defense, can be overly reliant on pulling guard. Numerology edge: Paul's driver number 9 and life path number 9 reflect a karmic warrior spirit, one drawn to emotional battles, late comebacks, and extremes. This double 9 setup suggests resilience, passion, and strong intuitive timing, but also emotional overcommitment. Universal Day 2 is not supportive for him. Path to victory: Craig should pull Bellato into scrambles, threaten with submissions constantly, and stay in chaos. If he drags the Brazilian into deep waters and capitalizes on a scramble, he can find a finish from nowhere, just like he's done before. Now the rising powerhouse, Rodolfo Bellato, 12-2. Born on February 5th, 28-year-old and fighting out of Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, Rodolfo Bellato stands 6 feet 3 inches with a 79-inch reach, a strong grappler with heavy top control, vicious ground and pound, and a growing striking arsenal. Strengths: strong takedowns and top pressure, devastating ground and pound, athleticism and youthful explosiveness. And weaknesses: can be reckless in transitions, still developing striking and octagon composure. Numerology edge: Bellato carries a driver number 5 and life path number 5, dynamic, energetic, and unpredictable. The 5 thrives in movement, thrives in change, and often brings wild momentum swings. Universal Day 2 is supportive for him on fight night. Path to victory: Rodolfo needs to stay on top, avoid Craig's traps, and punish him with heavy shots on the ground. If he can control positioning and stay composed, his physicality and pressure can overwhelm the veteran. Final prediction: numerology meets technique. June 14th, 2025 is a universal day too, a day that rewards calm intuition and composed decision-making. Paul Craig's double 9 gives him the intuition edge, while Bellato's wild 5 energy could either shine or backfire depending on his discipline. While Bellato holds the technical and athletic edge, the numerology and Craig's wild card submission threat make this closer than it looks. But if Bellato keeps it controlled, his 5 energy aligns better with an explosive finish under pressure. I'm picking Rodolfo Bellato in this one by youthful fire, top control, and heavy hands break through. Michael Chiesa versus Court McGee. 2 seasoned grapplers collide in a battle of experience and grit. Michael Chiesa brings slick back takes and wrestling, while Court McGee returns with pressure, cardio, and durability. This welterweight bout could be a war of control, will, and veteran savvy. First up, the submission specialist, Michael Chiesa, 20-7. Born on December 7th, 37-year-old, and fighting out of Spokane Valley, Washington, Michael Maverick Chiesa stands 6 feet 1 inch with a 75.5-inch reach, a lanky grappler known for his pressure wrestling, back control, and dangerous transitions. Strengths: strong wrestling and back takes, physicality and length in grappling, composed under pressure. And weaknesses: limited striking arsenal, can fade if unable to establish control. Numerology edge: Chiesa's driver number 7 and life path number 8 form a combo of deep thinking and power-driven purpose. The 7 makes him cerebral, and the 8 adds ambition and physical intensity. This combo is great for dominating through control, though it can backfire if overthinking leads to hesitation. Universal Day 2 is supportive for him on fight night. Path to victory: Chiesa must impose his grappling early, get to dominant positions, and avoid striking exchanges. If he sticks to the game plan, his control and positional awareness can carry him to victory. Now the iron-willed brawler, Court McGee, 23-13. Born on December 12th, 40-year-old, and fighting out of Orem, Utah, Court the Crusher McGee stands 5 feet 11 inches with a 75-inch reach, a relentless grinder with solid clinch work, excellent cardio, and a never-back-down mentality. Strengths: pressure fighting and output, strong defensive grappling, excellent conditioning. And weaknesses: lacks power finishing threat. predictable at times on the feet. Numerology edge. Court's driver number 3 and life path number 1 offer energy and leadership, a combo that fuels initiative and willpower. His 3-to-1 alignment brings confidence and pace, though it can lead to frustration if momentum stalls. Universal Day 2 is not so supportive. Path to victory. McGee must stay off his back, keep the fight upright, and pressure with volume. If he can wear Chiesa down, his pace and veteran cardio could push him ahead on the cards. Final prediction, numerology meets technique. June 14, 2025 is a Universal Day 2, favoring balance, patience, and methodical approaches, ideal for grapplers and thinkers like Chiesa. Chiesa's 7-to-8 alignment supports calculated power and technical control, which aligns well with the day's calm energy. McGee's fire and durability make this a grind, but the edge in grappling IQ and numerology rhythm points toward the Maverick. I'm picking Michael Chiesa in this one by smart grappling and control edge out the grinder. Malcolm Wellmaker versus Chris Moutinho. Two hungry bantamweights collide as newcomer Malcolm Wellmaker looks to make a statement against the ultra-tough Chris Moutinho. Expect fireworks, durability, and a battle of willpower, but the numbers may reveal who rises when things get gritty. First up, the debuting force, Malcolm Wellmaker, 9-0. Born on June 4, 1994, and fighting out of the United States, Malcolm Wellmaker stands 5 feet 8 inches, a strong, athletic striker with knockout power and a confident presence, looking to announce himself with authority on the big stage. Strengths: explosive striking and fast hands, athleticism and power advantage, carries confidence and aggression. And weaknesses: UFC debut, limited experience under the lights, unknown grappling depth at the elite level. Numerology edge. Malcolm's driver number 4 and life path number 6 create a combo of structure and responsibility, grounded, hardworking, and ready to push through adversity. A powerful combination on fight day. Path to victory. Wellmaker needs to stay aggressive early, use his speed and power to overwhelm, and avoid extended grappling exchanges. If he controls the pace and lands clean, his structure and willpower can carry him to a decisive finish. Now the Iron Chin brawler, Chris Moutinho, 14-6. Born on August 9th, 32-year-old, and fighting out of Milford, Massachusetts, Chris Moutinho stands 5 feet 7 inches with a 70-inch reach, best known for his unbelievable durability, pressure-forward style, and endless cardio that made waves in his legendary brawl with Sean O'Malley. Strengths: granite chin and never stop pressure, good volume and conditioning, mentally tough and unbreakable spirit. And weaknesses: defense is wide open, can take too much damage in high-output fights. Numerology edge. Chris's driver number 9 and life path number 2 make him a warrior with heart and empathy. The 9 gives him raw courage and willpower, while the 2 adds emotional intelligence and adaptability. Universal Day 2 is supporting for him on fight night. Path to victory. Moutinho must survive the early storm, drag the fight into deep waters, and turn it into a war. If he forces chaos and keeps walking forward, his cardio and heart could break Wellmaker down. Final prediction, numerology meets technique. June 14, 2025 is a Universal Day 2, favoring emotional control and tactical balance, a minor edge for Moutinho's 2-based life path. But Wellmaker's 4-6 energy better suits the structured, composed execution needed to dominate early exchanges and avoid a war. With the athleticism, power, and numerology alignment early on his side, I'm picking Chris Moutinho in this one by strong energy and a structured, powerful numerology profile lead to a statement win. Cody Durden versus Jose Ochoa. The Flyweight division sees a clash between gritty experience and youthful fire. Cody Durden, a relentless wrestler with a chip on his shoulder, faces newcomer Jose Ochoa, a rising prospect hungry to make a statement. Expect scrambles, speed, and heart in this high-tempo clash. First up, the pressure wrestler, Cody Durden, 17-7. Born on March 29th, 34-year-old, and fighting out of Covington, Georgia, Cody Durden stands 5 feet 7 inches with a 67-inch reach, a tenacious wrestler who grinds opponents with takedowns, pace, and relentless pressure. Strengths: aggressive wrestling and chain takedowns, cardio and forward pressure, tough, gritty, and durable. And weaknesses: vulnerable in submission exchanges, striking defense can be leaky. Numerology edge. Cody carries a driver number 2 and a life path number 7, a mix of sensitivity and deep thinking. This 2-7 combination is intuitive and adaptable, ideal for reading opponents and adjusting mid-fight. Universal Day 2 is supportive for him. Path to victory. Durden must keep Ochoa on the back foot, impose his wrestling early, and avoid getting caught in transitions. If he sets the pace and smothers Ochoa's rhythm, his veteran grit and experience could take over. Now the hungry newcomer, Jose Ochoa, 7-1. Born on December 31st, 24-year-old, and fighting out of California, Jose Ochoa stands 5 feet 7 inches with a 68-inch reach, an explosive young talent with sharp striking, fast scrambles, and the confidence of an unbeaten prospect. Strengths: fast hands and slick combinations. youthful energy and movement, quick reflexes and solid finishing instincts. And weaknesses: inexperienced at the UFC level, still untested against elite grapplers. Numerology edge: Jose's driver number 4 and life path number 9 reflect structure blended with compassion and intensity. The 4 to 9 pairing creates a balance of discipline and warrior mindset, ideal for a composed young fighter with big aspirations. Universal Day 2 not so supportive, but overall grid is very powerful. Path to victory: Ochoa must use movement, keep the fight on the feet, and tag Durden from range. If he can avoid being grounded and keep scrambling, his speed and precision could break through. Final prediction: Numerology meets technique. June 14, 2025 is a Universal Day 2, favoring calm energy, adaptability, and balance, aligning with Durden's intuitive 2 to 7 numerology and his grappling-based control game. While Ochoa's 4 to 9 is powerful for future growth, this could be a steep jump. The numerology rhythm and technical edge favor Durden's grinding experience in this matchup. Fight is very close, but I'm picking Jose Ochoa in this one as he's very young and has momentum behind him. Ricky Simón versus Charles Jourdain. The featherweight division heats up as relentless wrestler Ricky Simón squares off against the unpredictable striker Charles Jourdain. Expect pace, power, and pressure in a classic striker versus grappler showdown, where the numbers might just tell us who thrives under the lights. First up, the relentless grinder, Ricky Simón, 21-6. Born on August 31st, 32-year-old, and fighting out of Vancouver, Washington, Ricky Simón stands 5 feet 6 inches with a 69-inch reach, a cardio machine with dominant wrestling, smothering top control, and relentless forward pressure. Strengths: high-paced wrestling and pressure, excellent cardio and durability, aggressive ground and pound. And weaknesses: striking lacks variety and precision, can be vulnerable to submission threats. Numerology edge: Ricky has a driver number 4 and life path number 6, a stable and responsible combo. The 4 brings discipline and structure, while the 6 adds heart and protective instinct, ideal for grinding through adversity and staying composed in the fire. Overall strong grid. Path to victory: Simón needs to pressure early, chain his takedowns, and wear Jourdain down on the mat. If he can keep the fight in his world and avoid risky striking exchanges, his blueprint can dominate the pace and score a decision or late finish. Now the wild striker, Charles Jourdain, 16-8. Born on November 27th, 29-year-old, and fighting out of Quebec, Canada, Charles Jourdain stands 5 feet 9 inches with a 69-inch reach, a flashy, unpredictable southpaw with dangerous kicks, explosive strikes, and a fearless brawling spirit. Strengths: creative striking with power, unorthodox offense and movement, resilient and never backs down. And weaknesses: takedown defense can falter under pressure, tends to lose rounds when pressured. Numerology edge: Charles carries a driver number 9 and life path number 8, a bold and assertive mix. The 9 gives him fiery passion and fight spirit, while the 8 brings ambition and control. Universal Day 2 is not so supportive on fight night. Path to victory: Jourdain must stay off the cage, keep the fight in the center, and unleash volume from range. If he can stuff early shots and create chaos, his explosive style and power could overwhelm Simón in striking battles. Final prediction: Numerology meets technique. June 14, 2025 is a Universal Day 2, favoring calm, balance, and structure control, a subtle boost to Simón's 4 to 6 numerology, which thrives in composed, strategic battles. While Jourdain's fire and creativity can turn the tide at any moment, the path of least resistance lies with the wrestler who brings structure, tempo, and grind. I'm picking Ricky Simón in this one by relentless control and numerology alignment seal the edge. Phil Rowe versus Angelusa. In the welterweight division, 2 explosive strikers go head-to-head as the towering Phil Rowe meets the compact powerhouse Angelusa. Expect sharp striking, momentum shifts, and a battle of range versus pressure, but the numbers may reveal the winner before the first bell rings. First up, the rangy sniper, Phil Rowe, 10-5. Born on July 18, 1990, and fighting out of Orlando, Florida, Phil the Fresh Prince Rowe stands 6 feet 3 inches with an 80.5-inch reach, a lanky striker with knockout power, precise range control, and a strong finishing instinct. Strengths: incredible reach and sniping accuracy, finisher's mentality with power in both hands, dangerous counter-striker when composed. And weaknesses: struggles under heavy pressure, can be inconsistent in pacing and output. Numerology edge: Phil carries a driver number 9 and life path number 8, a combination of intensity and material mastery. The 9 gives him passion, while the 8 brings authority, physical presence, and an eye for dominance and control. Universal Day 2 is not supportive for him. Path to victory: Rowe needs to stay sharp, control the range, and pick Lusa apart from distance. If he can assert dominance early and prevent a brawl, his power and presence will carry him to a decisive win. Now the compact tank, Angelusa, 10-4. Born on March 18, 32-year-old, and fighting out of Switzerland by way of Congo, and the last ninja Lusa stands 5 feet 10 inches with a 74-inch reach, a stocky, explosive striker known for his forward pressure, toughness, and rugged pace. Strengths: strong boxing and constant forward movement. Durable with a high-volume style. Physical strength in clinch and scrambles. And weaknesses: can get hit clean during aggressive entries. Tends to fade slightly in high-paced third rounds. Numerology edge: Ange has a driver number 9 and life path number 7, combining warrior spirit with thoughtful execution. The 9 gives him aggression and drive, while the 7 brings introspection and the ability to adjust mid-fight. Universal Day 2 is supportive for him on fight night. Path to victory: Lusa must close distance early, pressure row, and smother his movement. If he turns the fight into a grind and avoids long-range exchanges, his grit and aggression could swing momentum his way. Final prediction: numerology meets technique. June 14, 2025 is a Universal Day 2, which favors calm, balance, and subtle adjustments, a perfect match for Ange Lusa's 7-life path, which thrives under introspection, reaction, and timing. Rowe brings size and sniper range, but Lusa's 9-7 combo offers both pressure and the ability to adapt. In a gritty fight, the 7's intercom combined with Lusa's relentless forward drive gives him the edge. I'm picking Ange Lusa in this one by his durability, pressure, and numerology alignment, with the day's energy point to a grinded-out victory over the taller striker. Vanessa Demopoulos versus Jamie Lynn Horth. In the women's flyweight division, grit meets precision as fan-favorite Vanessa Demopoulos looks to derail the rise of the composed and dangerous Jamie Lynn Horth. Expect an intense grappling chess match mixed with aggressive exchanges, with numerology giving us an extra lens into who might come out on top. First up, the submission ace, Vanessa Demopoulos, 11-7. Born on September 22, 36-year-old, and fighting out of Denver, Colorado, Vanessa Lil Monster Demopoulos stands 5 feet 2 inches with a 62-inch reach, a jiu-jitsu black belt known for slick submission skills, toughness, and flashy fight-week energy. Strengths: dangerous off her back with high-level BJJ. Resilient and never backs down from scrap. Mentally strong and performs well under pressure. And weaknesses: striking is basic and lacks pop. Can get overwhelmed by physically stronger opponents. Numerology edge: Vanessa has a driver number 4 and a life path number 3, a mix of discipline and expressive flair. The 4 gives her a structured, grounded base in the fight game, while the 3 brings confidence and charisma. Universal Day 2 is supportive for her. Path to victory: Demopoulos needs to pull Horth into grappling exchanges, work off her back, and chase submissions early. If she can make it gritty and force chaos, her resilience and grappling instincts could lead to a surprise finish. Now the rising contender, Jamie Lynn Horth, 7-2. Born on March 30, 1990, and fighting out of Squamish, British Columbia, Jamie Lynn Horth stands 5 feet 7 inches with a 67-inch reach, a composed striker with technical striking, measured aggression, and solid takedown defense. Strengths: clean striking and sharp footwork. Calm under fire with good distance management. Physically strong and disciplined. And weaknesses: still developing ground game at UFC level. Can be a slow starter in early rounds. Numerology edge: Jamie has a driver number 3 and life path number 7, a unique blend of expressive creativity and deep introspection. The 3-7 combo makes her mentally composed, tactical, and efficient with energy. Universal Day 2 is nor so supportive for her. Path to victory: Horth should keep the fight at range, use her height and reach, and stay patient. If she avoids grappling and controls the tempo, her calculated striking and composed energy can take over. Final prediction: numerology meets technique. June 14, 2025 is a Universal Day 2, favoring patience, balance, and emotional control, a solid energetic fit for Vanessa Demopoulos' numerology, which thrives in mental clarity and technical exchanges. Demopoulos brings chaos and heart, but Horth's reach, discipline, and alignment with the day's energy give her the edge in a measured battle. I'm picking Vanessa Demopoulos in this one, as she has the numerology edge in this one. Total 13 fights in this card, in which I have picked 4 underdogs. These are my final picks for UFC Fight Night Usman vs. Buckley. Best underdog in my opinion is Kamaru Usman, and valuable pick is Ricky Simon. Hope you liked the video. Subscribe to Fight Numerology. Don't forget to comment your picks below. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for future UFC card predictions.